I looked up, did some research about tanging history, which was pretty surprising to me. Like, where the heck did the idea of tanging come from? I found out about it 2 years ago when I saw a father and son on Facebook, or YouTube, tanging for bees, and the bees came to a light post. Okay, this is my sanger, and this is what I use. I live right in Linwood, right behind Friend Central School, which is right behind their track. So really, I should do everything which I've been doing for the past couple of years to prevent my bees from swarming. So I'm keeping an eye on swarm cells. But on April 21st, well, I'll go into the history first. Planning history. The oldest thing that I could find was Pling the Elder, who was a Roman naturalist, said the practice of tanging was in the 1st century. He described to cause a swarm to settle, you must strike a bronze vessel. And then in the medieval times, they were thinking that they hear this tanging, and that was only so the beekeepers running around banging something just to lay a claim. Like, this is my bees. Don't anybody else try to get them. It's mine because I'm the one that's out here like a nut tanging. To the swarm, in early medieval Europe, then they had metrical charms or magical instructions employed for handling dilemmas with words and actions. Many dealt with challenges of agriculture. With yimby was the term for a swarm of bees, with yimby, found in the margins of an 11th century manuscript, is believed to be older from the 9th century. So this is how far back the tanging goes. Swarm charms, people would say something, were magic spells used by beekeepers across Europe to control and direct their honeybees mooring a swarm. So a swarm of bees begins with physical instruction and ends with what you need to say to the bees. They would say, now pretend you're back there, and this is what I'm teaching you to do. Take earth, first you do a physical instruction, take earth, throw it with your right hand under your right foot, and say the following. I catch it underfoot, and I have found it. Lo, earth has power against all and every being, and against malice, and against mindlessness, and against the mighty tongue of man. And then throw dust over the bees when they swarm and say, sit you, victory women, settle to earth. Never must you fly wild to the wood. So can you imagine?
Lynn, if you're going to do this, please come get it here. You would be an instant hit on TikTok. That's true.
It is true. Video. Okay. And then be you as mindful of my welfare as each man is of his food and home. Okay, so that's what you have to say to bees. Memorize that. Another bee saving technique of the 19th century was to place a glass jar open at the bottom on top of the scap. The queen would not lay eggs in the jar, it being too cold, so the bees would store honey. The jar would fill up with pure honeycomb and honey to be brought right to the table for serving. So that's what they would do with the scaps. And in the 1960s, Austin Fife, who was a folklorist, studied swarm charms. And 96% of the charms before the 17th century included Christian references, compared to 58% of examples from the 18th to 20th century. Okay, then rational beekeeping refers to a more scientific, less mystical approach, as an increased understanding of the biology of bees was occurring. In sources after the medieval era, tanging was mentioned, but didn't mention the phrases that went along with tanging. Earlier sources wrote the charms, but didn't mention the tanging.
Probably burnt you at the stake, huh?
You did, yes, you're a witch. Therefore, suggesting a growing understanding that it was the tanging and not the words that influenced the swarm. Okay. Rational beekeeping is the thing that I don't get. Our modern hidden beehives were invented in the mid-19th century when people stopped using swarm charms, as well as a growing movement which started in the 1700s and more so in the 1800s to no longer kill your bees. So when there were skeps, they would burn the skeps, you know, chase the bees out, and all the bees would end up dying. So now, instead of burning the skeps to collect your honey, the next innovation of tanging was called driving the bees. And they would get a pail and a skep and bang on the pail rhythmically to, you know, the outside of the pail, which forced the colony out of the skep and moved the bees to a new skep to harvest honey. Okay, so moving along from Bee Culture magazine, February 22nd, 2016. This is where I found this article. A clever look, sound, generation, and hearing. Oh, this is about, I started thinking, how do the bees sense this, you know, to come back to the swarm? Because it works. It really works. You'll see in my video. Bees can hear frequencies up to 500 hertz. Honeybees produce frequencies of vibrations, sounds ranging from 10 up to 1,000. Okay, this is my swarm. Yeah. Sounds picked up by the Johnston's organ found within the honeybee antenna, which are a collection of sensory cells that are sensitive to vibration, found in the second segment or pedicel of the antenna, which detects minute motion of the end segment, which is the flagellum of the bee antenna. The Johnston organ consists of over 300 nerve cells called scolopedia. Not sure if that's spelled or sounded right. Arrayed in a bowl shape, they convert mechanical vibration into nerve impulses related to the honeybee brain. Okay, now you can.
Yep. See if you see her going in there.
Oh my God, look at that.
They're all fanning like crazy. She's got to be in there.
Yeah, they're piling in.
Yeah, even if they land on you, they're not going to sting you. Smile, Mike. Lovely.
You got some?
Yeah, I'm taking a video.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to post it on my bee club. So exciting. Look, there's one on my hand. 2 on my hand.
So I can say that was the most amazing day in beekeeping I've had. But because there's like runners running around staff, like my first one mostly was April 4th. And I didn't know it because I was babysitting. And my bees took off, and a couple of runners, there was a trap meet, a couple of runners got stung from the opposing team. But
Well trained bees. Well trained.
right. But I'm very good, very good relationship with the track team coach over there, and also with the biology department. They call me, they have my number. If there's anything going on, they'll call me, come to this one, come to that one. So, and I'm like, well, my bees haven't swarmed, but I'm getting more swarms. I don't think they swarm, but maybe they have. So anyway, I do have a very good rapport with the people at Grand Central, and they're so happy. I have bees, yes.
So an alternative to tanging, which I've done a lot of study on as well, with a 500 to 1,000 hertz, starting a lawnmower is right around 1,000 hertz. Put it in the yard, walk away, go land low.
I don't have.
And you don't run around like an idiot. I've done it. Pots and pans, trash can lids.
It doesn't make as good a TikTok video.
Oh, my neighbors
Someone to do a
know.
lawnmower video.
Yeah, start a mower, get a chair, watch them land.
It's like a shell bell, man. That's like getting in their house and hide. There's a storm coming.
My neighbors know this sound. So everybody knows when they hear this sound, and the track people know, stay away from this.
It's either you're looking for bees or there's a train crossing.
Okay, I have to give credit where credit is due. The 2 articles, the one man, Gene Pritzky, he's the Dean of the School of Behavioral and Natural Sciences at Mount St. Joseph University in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's an expert in the history of beekeeping, PhD in entomology, and specialized in the history of biology. He was a Fulbright scholar to Egypt in 1981 to 82, where he began his research in Egyptology. He has published several papers on Egyptian beekeeping methodology, Egyptological history, and archaeology. And then also the magic spells that herded medieval bees by Andrew Coletti, October 20th, 2023. Here, one more thing. Western settlers introduced the European honeybee to the Americas in the colonial era, leaving the swarm charm in the past with increased wooden hives with removable frames and rational beekeeping. There was less need to beg swarms to stay in one place. Are magic words even necessary, since it was really the timing and other physical actions that did the trick? At some point, they realized, Kritzky uses, that the bees aren't listening. And then I added, at least to the words. So that's it. It was kind of fun doing that research for Tanging. So we all